Welcome to Loco Gringo, Mexico, where we can take you beyond the usual on your vacation. Each week we talk with amazing locals who know the Riviera Maya and Yucatan like only locals can. Get real tips to real places, insights on the local scene, culture, and cuisine from a local's perspective. So pour yourself a margarita, mezcal, or tequila, grab yourself a comfy chair, and let's get the show going.
Hello everyone, this is Kay Walton. So glad to have you listening today. Well, we're in for a treat because we're going to be speaking to Chef Cristobal Tamariz. He believes the best way to preserve a country's culture is through sharing and experiencing local traditions. And for Cristobal, that tradition is food. Cristobal's going to be giving us a bit of a history lesson on Mexican cuisine, telling us a bit about how his family's influenced his career as a chef, and he is also the owner of Riviera Maya Food Tours, where he takes you on a personal experience through some of his favorite places that offer some of the best authentic Mexican food. This episode is brought to you by Playa. You know, lots of people ask us for information and help when it comes to real estate, whether they're looking for retirement, an investment property, or maybe they're looking to relocate to the area. And we refer them over to our friends at Playa. The folks at Playa we've known for years, and they'll make sure that you, the buyer, are fully protected and informed when it comes to buying real estate. So if you're looking to buy a piece of paradise, check out our friends at buyplaya.com. Cristobal, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Very good. I'm fine.
Hey, thanks for being on the show today. Cristobal, I mean, we've met several times in Puerto Morelos, and I've heard a lot of great things about your background and everything. But if you would share with our listeners, where in central Mexico are you from? And if you'll give a story about how you wound up here in the Riviera Maya.
Well, yes, I'm from central Mexico, from a little state called Hidalgo. It's next to Mexico City. So I was born there, and I was there, living there for 17 years. And after that, I traveled to another state in central Mexico called Puebla. It's really, really nice state. And I studied administration and culinary arts for 5 years. And after that, I traveled to different places in the world. I tried to live in Europe, in Spain, and then I tried to live in Chicago, and then I worked in Central America, but I really didn't like it. So I missed my culture, my food, my family, so I decided to come back to Mexico. I was working in Central Mexico, and someone contacted me. So it was really funny because I was thinking to come to Riviera Maya just for holidays. And in that week, someone contacted me from the Little Mexican Cooking School here in Puerto Morelos to teach in the school, not to give classes to foreigners. So I became in the instructor in the Little Mexican Cooking School. So that's the reason for that's why I'm here. And when I arrived here, I just loved it. It's amazing, the culture. Obviously, the Caribbean, it's amazing, you know. But that's why the reason that I'm here.
Now, let me ask you, as you got into the culinary arts, were you inspired at all by your family, maybe your mother, your grandmother? Did you have any family influence?
Yes, of course, yes. Well, my mom, she's a really great cook. She's not like a professional. She just learned how to cook to cook for us, for her family, my brother and I, and my dad. And yes, obviously I saw my mother cooking every day for us with a really great passion, and she loves to cook. So she taught me, how to cook. And my dad, my grandmother, she was a really great cook also. And yes, I grew up with all these flavors from Hidalgo, from Central Mexico, and from the Gulf of Mexico, because my dad is from the Gulf of Mexico in Veracruz. So these states are very popular because they have a really great food. So I grew up with all these amazing flavors. And in the beginning, I decided to be an engineer in chemistry. But I don't know why. Obviously, the food, I think in me, when I was a child, won the battle. So I decided to become a chef.
Well, I think maybe you've taken in the chemistry is the chemistry of flavors and how they all work together.
Yeah, of course. In kitchen when I was studying, obviously the kitchen is very related with chemistry. All these chemical reactions in the food and the flavors, and yeah, it's very related. But obviously, it's a totally different point of view because when you became a chef, you're basically an artist. You create different pieces of art, but with flavors. So that's more like related with creativity and art for me.
And I know that cuisine here in Mexico is recently, in the last several years, received an award from UNESCO as, what is it, an intangible...
Yes.
Intangible heritage or something, but I know that UNESCO has recognized Mexican cuisine above many other cuisines in the world.
Yeah, it's recognized by UNESCO as intangible heritage of the humanity.
Thank you.
It is because, Mexican food, Mexican kitchen or Mexican cuisine, French cuisine, and Mediterranean diet. So it's because these three cuisines in the world have a really great background. It's not just about food. It's more about every aspect related with food. So how the food is related with the people, with the society. And for example, here in Mexico, we have this traditional Mexican food that it's a mixture between ingredients and cooking methods from the prehispanic times, and all these flavors and cooking methods that arrived here with the Spaniards. So the Spaniards brought flavors from Europe, from Middle East, and then they started to make commerce with Asia. So all those flavors and people from different parts of the world arrived to Mexico. And this mixture with the pre-Hispanic flavors and pre-Hispanic ingredients and all these products from all over the world, they started to create the traditional Mexican food. So we have more than 500 years in tradition. So that's the thing that we preserve. We cook tortillas, for example, like in the same way since 2,000 years ago. So that's one of the best things of this kitchen. And we preserve these little traditions. In tamales, for example, we cook it in the same way. And it's not just about food. It's about every little thing around the food, the family, how the food influence our family and our society. That's why UNESCO consider this cuisine as heritage of the humanity.
That's fascinating. Now, can you tell me, here in the Yucatan, we have a lot of Mayan influence, and it makes Yucatecan cuisine unique in itself, correct?
Yes, of course, yes. This region by its own, it's amazing. It's totally different from other regions in Mexico. So that's why probably a lot of people know this, but they wanted to create their own country because this particular region in Yucatan, it's very different, with their own culture, the Mayan influence, their own flavors. So they wanted to create their own country called Yucatan Republic. So, but it was like an intervention from the government to take it again or to Mexico on and to give to this region more importance because obviously it's part of our culture in Mexico. So yeah, but it's very interesting how everything is related and the culture here it's totally different. The flavors, for example, in the food are totally different. So and that's why we want to preserve like this region.
Question for you, and I've spoken with other chefs since we started podcasting, but can you tell me, is Central Mexico, do they use habanero as much as we use it here in the Yucatan Peninsula, or is it something that we just all have a taste for spice here?
Yeah, that's another interesting thing. Well, we have around more than 100 chiles in Mexico. And obviously each state has their own chile, at least one chile endemic per each state. So you cannot find a chile in other place in the world, just in that state. And, well, each flavor in each state gives to the people identity. So, for example, here in the Mayan region, they have Habanero, the Habanero chili pepper. So that is a very particular flavor and a particular chili from this region. So in central Mexico, for example, we have our own kind of chiles, jalapeno, for example, or arbol chile, or serrano chile, that is used in all the food since you are a child. Now, for example, for me, when I arrived here, I saw, or I keep seeing habanero in every place, in every corner in the region, because it's the chili of the region. But for me, it doesn't mean too much, because I grew up, for example, with my family, cooking with arbol or jalapeno. So that's the flavor that resembles or that means something for me, because I remember my family, my heritage, my culture, my food in central Mexico. So we can find habanero in other states in Mexico. We can find it in all Mexico. But we don't use it too much because it doesn't represent something really important for us. For example, there's another chile that's it's not too common to find it. You can find this chile, it is the black chile in Oaxaca. So you can find this chile in that state, and in that state just in a small region of the state, and just for a small season. So the chile is very expensive, and it's not too common to find it, but just means something really important for the people there in that region, because they grew up with this chile, with this flavor. But for us, for example, in central Mexico or in the north, or here in the Maya region, it's not too important because we don't use it too much often, or it's not too often. Now, so that doesn't represent something important in our heritage or in our tradition. So Mexican people, we are very jealous of our food, and we are really proud of our food. So that's why we preserve our food in general, but each state, and the people preserve their food in each state, like a part of their identity, I think. So you can find the habanero chile everywhere, but we don't use it too much like we use it here in the Mayan region.
That's fascinating. I didn't realize that each area had their own special chile that they identified with. I think there's a lot of listeners who didn't realize that there's, most people at least think of chiles or thinking of jalapenos or, and there's just so many varieties out there. And I know here in Yucatan, habaneros is at least one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's really, really tasty.
Cristobal, can you tell me now, you started at the little Mexican cooking school, and obviously your passion for the food and culture, I can hear it in your voice. Can you tell me how you were inspired, or what inspired you to now start Riviera Maya Food Tours?
Well, yes, I love Mexican food. I just love it. And, I love also to share different aspects around Mexican food, because it's not just about the flavor. It's about how the food is related with our life, our daily lives. And I started in the Little Mexican Cooking School, and then I decided to open my own business, the Riviera Maya Food Tours. So, because a lot of people in the school ask me, hey, where can I taste the best traditional Mexican food in the region? Because sometimes in our hotels or resorts, they want to please us with international food, but we want to taste the real food of Mexico. So I decided to open this business to take people to the traditional places where we can find the traditional Mexican food. So it's not like very touristic areas. We take people to places where the locals eat or where the locals live daily. So I share with them these kind of flavors and history around the food, how these dishes were created. So that's one of my passions, just to share my culture and my food with the people. So that's why I started with this business, Riviera Maya Food Tours.
And do you have a personal tour that's your favorite that you really, really love to do?
Yes, Puerto Morelos Food Tour. It's great. I just love Riviera Maya, but Puerto Morelos is a great spot. It's a small town that preserves its identity. It's like a little town where the people is very friendly, and it's a hidden place in Riviera Maya. So it's becoming more popular nowadays, but it preserves the identity, and you can find here nice places to eat with the traditional dishes. It's great. I love to just to do Puerto Morelos tour.
And do you have any, when you want to go out and grab a bite to eat when you're not taking out a tour, when you're just out with your friends, do you have any secret spots where you go out to and you have tacos or one of your favorite dishes? Do you have any recommendations that people can experience if they're coming down to the area?
Well, yeah. But that's a secret. No. Well, yes. Here, for example, I love just to be here because I live here in Puerto Morelos now. Here in the night, for example, in the square in Puerto Morelos, there's a churro place. These are the best churros that I taste in my life. I never taste in my life. Are just great. This sir starts to sell the churros at 7 p.m. and finish at 9 p.m. So every day he makes like the batter to make the churros, but he makes a little bit, just a little amount of batter, not too much. And the churros are, yes.
Oh, no. I was going to say, for our listeners, can you explain what a churro is? I mean, I know what they are, but can you explain to people what they are?
Oh, yes. Well, the churro is like Mexican sweet. It's considered like a bread sometimes, and it's made like a probably like more international thing. It's like a choux paste from France. So it's a paste like a bread, but then you have to put this kind of batter in a special device to make like a long cylinder, and then you fry it, and then you put cinnamon and sugar on the top. So it's like and the texture, it's outside is very, very crunchy, and inside is soft, and with the flavor of the sugar and cinnamon together, it's just great.
So it's like a fried dough.
Yes, a fried dough.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. And this sir makes the best ever. So I tried many because it's more popular in central Mexico, because here, for the weather, it's not too common to eat too much desserts or sweets, because it's too hot or humid. But here I found this sir in the square, and are the best churros that I never tried.
They sound yummy.
Yeah, very yummy.
Now, do you have, I think you said your father's from Veracruz?
Yes,
now,
from local Mexico.
So do you have a love of ceviche? Since, I know Veracruz is big on seafood, and so did you develop a taste for, say, like ceviches?
Well, yeah, ceviche is one of my favorite dishes, so I can eat ceviche every day for all my life. But here it's, I grew up with this flavor. My dad loves to cook also. And he makes a really nice ceviche. So with my dad, we used to travel, for example, at 3 a.m. in the morning. So we traveled from Hidalgo to the Gulf of Mexico to visit his family. And we used to travel at 3 a.m. in the morning for hours to arrive at 7 a.m. in this traditional Mexican market to buy a special tamal that is made just in that region, and to buy seafood, fresh seafood, the catch of the day, to make ceviche and other things, like shrimp, for example, with chipotle salsa. But just to pick, the fresh fish, almost alive, and the shrimp and the crabs. Obviously, when I was a child, that was fascinating for me. And to taste it, when my dad used to make this kind of ceviche with the lime, because we used to have a a little piece of land in Veracruz. So we have lime trees and orange trees and mangoes. So just imagine to pick the fresh lime and to make the ceviche with the catch of the day. That's the flavor that I have. So to find something like that in every part of the world, that could be complicated. But yes, ceviche is one of my favorites. And here I found a restaurant from the Gulf of Mexico. So they make a really nice ceviche. It's not like the same of my dad, but it's similar. And I can recommend it.
What's the name of this place so I can go and check it out?
Probably you have to come to my tour to take you there.
Okay.
But because it's one of my spots, my favorite spot, and it's I will tell you, Rincon Jarocho in Puerto Morelos. You should come.
Okay, making a
note
of it.
It's great. It's just great.
Excellent. And do you have any places like for any activities or cenotes or beach or anything? I mean, any place you would recommend to someone coming to the area to have, a little more of an authentic experience?
Well, yes, in Riviera Maya, come to Puerto Morelos. That it's just a great small town. It's very quiet. The Mexican families around, and it's just great. And also, when I want to travel to another place or another spot here in Riviera Maya, I just travel to Bacalar. I love Bacalar. It's so quiet, and the lagoon there with the 7 colors of blue, it's amazing. I love that place. It's just great.
I do too, and I like, what is it, the restaurant at Cenote Azul. I love to go and eat there.
Yeah, it's great. The view, for example, this like magical experience, it's great, yeah. Well, the flavors are amazing there.
Well, Cristobal, I've enjoyed this conversation. I hope you'll come back and we can talk about some of your other tours as well. If people want to reach out and say hello to you or get in touch to get more information, how can they contact you? What's the best way?
Please take a look at my webpage. I have a webpage, www.rivieraMayaFoodTours.com. And also you can find me in Facebook as Riviera Maya Food Tours. And you can follow me on Instagram as Riviera Maya Food Tours as well.
Ooh, excellent. And we'll have links over from today's show notes over to Cristobal's social media and his website. And of course, if you can't get a hold of him, you can always email me, askk@locogringo.com, and I will hook you up. Hey, Cristobal, thanks so much. And I'm going to take you up on going to have ceviche with you soon.
Perfect. That could be great. Thank you so much.
Well, are you inspired now to move down here? Do you want to move down here and have a little place of your own? Well, then you need to talk to our friends at By Playa. They have a friendly and knowledgeable international staff. They speak lots of languages, and they are known as being a buyer's agent. Well, what does that mean? That means they are only going to show you and sell you properties they know that have escrituras. An escritura is a title. And it's part of their due diligence to make sure the title is clear, there's no liens, and that the person who's selling the property is actually the owner. By Playa works with lawyers that specialize in fideicomisos, which is a Mexican trust. You may have heard of it already before. And they can address things such as capital gains problems immediately and right up front, so that you have no surprises along the way to closing. So contact our friends at By Playa at buyplaya.com. Big thanks to all of you for listening today. But before you go, just a reminder to go to locogringo.com/podcast for today's show notes, including links over to Cristobal's website and his email address. We have a concierge, Paulina, and she can also arrange your tours if you'd like to go out with Cristobal. Her email address is concierge@locogringo.com.
Thanks for listening. If you like the show, be sure to subscribe. For links, show notes, and more information, head on over to locogringo.com or give us a call toll-free at 800-478-0081.
Porque se tragó la luna, estaba enferma la rana, su madre soba que soba, dedos de pluma la panza, pensó ranita que luna era una toronja blanca, y aunque la luna es de leche, la leche estaba cortada. Croa, croa, dedos de pluma, croa, croa, dedos de agua, croa.